legs. So I'm going to give the full narration, and hopefully everyone can still see. One thing I do want to mention about sitting in a chair, if we're going to do exercises in a chair, whatever that exercise might be, we don't want to generally sit with our back against the back of the chair, right? Because you notice actually my spine's not straight. It's kind of at an angle to the hips. When I'm sitting back like this, I lose connection to the floor with the feet. If I scoot forward, my feet are firmly on the floor. My spine is straight, my body's supporting that. And if I were to turn my waist, I could feel a transfer of weight from one part of the foot to the other part of the foot. And when I sit back here, I don't feel that same thing. The other thing is when my back's against the chair like this, I'm not able to physically turn as much. Whereas if I make a little separation, scoot forward, I'm able to turn to a greater extent. The only caveat to that is just be careful you don't scoot too far forward or that your chair, if it has wheels, that you're aware of that so you don't have that thing just shoot out from behind you. So, okay. Well, you know, I've been there and done that. So that's why I mention it, because, you know, I'm like, oh yeah, this is great. You got to scoot forward, and I forgot the chair had wheels, and then my daughters were just crying, laughing at me. So, so it's, you know, I learn any lesson I learn, it's typically going to be learned the hard way, unfortunately, but at least I learn it. So, okay, we're here. We're going to go preparation. We draw down, neutral position with the left hand on top. Good. Horizontal elbow, palm against palm. This is called beginning style on the left. And now we alternate, flying diagonally on the left again. Left hand comes to the center. We make room for it by bringing it down as we bring the right hand over top. Good. Horizontal elbow with the right, palm against palm. This is grasp the sparrow's tail. We're going to extend out square, connect at the wrist, draw both hands diagonally to the hip, lift the left hand up, push the right hand to the right hip, lift the hand to the shoulder, and push forward. By the way, I know you're all aware, but for anybody at home, and actually I know Kathleen knows this, but for anyone who watches this later, everything we're doing is mirror image. So when I say put your right hand up, put your right hand up, even if you think to yourself he's lying, he's putting his left up, I'm doing mirror image. Okay, so we're going to hook the right hand, turn to the right, come across, leaving the right hand where it was. That was beautifully done. Single whip. Center with the left hand and low. Center with the right hand and high, holding the ball. Cross at the wrist. Bring the left hand up, right hand down. There's our second, flying diagonally. Left hand to the center, right hand over the top, horizontal elbow, palm against palm. That's beginning style on the right. We're going to slightly lower the right hand and then lift with the right as we press with the left. Right palm out. We're going to bend forward, turn to your left, and we come back up, stork flaps wings. Nicely done. So the funny thing is, in a seated position, it can be even easier to recall all that and to follow along than in a standing position, which we would think, well, they're pretty much the same, but one of the differences is the perspective of balance, right? Because I'm pretty sure I could figure out 2 + 2, but if you put me on a high wire, 600 feet in the air, I might forget that part because my body's so focused on not falling, right? And so, again, this is just another tool at our disposal that we can use to kind of lock into our memory from experience doing those postures. And then when we add the legs, it's easier to do. I would never say it's easy because then I'll be killed, but it's easier, right? So let's try one more time from the seated position. And then if you want to stay in the seated position when we do the standing position, no worries. And then ultimately we'll work our way towards the full version with the mapping of the footwork of the feet. So we're here, we go preparation. We draw down. We go to neutral position, forming the triangle, left hand on top. Horizontal elbow, palm against palm. That's beginning style on the left. Alternate the elbow, draw diagonally down with the right hand, flying diagonally. Left hand to the center, right hand comes over the top. Good. Horizontal elbow with the right, palm against palm. This is grasp the sparrow's tail. Extend out, connect at the wrist, draw both hands diagonally down to the left hip. Left palm up, push your right hand to the right hip, lift the hand to the shoulder, and we push out. Hooking the right hand, we turn to the right corner, we come across, single whip, very good. Center with the left hand and low, center with the right hand and high, holding the ball so the hands are stacked on top of each other like I'm holding a ball. Cross at the wrist, right hand on top, left hand comes up, right hand comes down, there's flying diagonally again. Left hand comes to the center, right hand comes over the top. Good. Horizontal elbow with the right, palm against palm, that's beginning style on the right. We lower and then lift, palm out, bend forward, turn to your left, and we come up, stork flaps wings. That's really good. How's that feel so far? Pretty good? Let's try one time without narration, but I'm going to do it very slowly. Again, I promise we leave no person behind. So let's try that one more time in a seated position, but this time without narration. So here we go. Good. Nice. Good. Very good, everyone. Beautifully done. Good. Well, if it could be done better than that, I